Good evening, our viewers. I welcome you to this live section on this day, the 1st October, which happens to be the Independence Day. And today we are going to be treating an important topic in the real estate industry, which is how you can own a property through mortgage. And I have with us here a seasoned rector and a real estate consultant in the city of Abuja, Mr. Monday, who is the CEO of Calibers Realties. Mr. Monday, I welcome you. You can take over the mic, sir.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Chima. I hope you can hear me very well, sir.
Loud and clear. Go ahead, sir.
All right. Our dear viewers and listeners, it's my delight to be in your midst this evening to do justice to the topic, how to own your property in Nigeria using mortgages. Sorry, just trying to, okay, sorry for the technical issue. So this evening we are going to discuss about how to own your own property using mortgages in Nigeria. Yes, the concept of mortgage is actually a very vast concept which we may not be able to cover all today. And briefly, before we proceed, there are basic things that we are going to look out for during the course of our discussion this evening. And what are those things? We are going to understand what mortgage is all about. Then we will discuss about the types of mortgages that we have in Nigeria, and then the requirements that every prospective borrower who wants to borrow mortgage loans should meet up with before they can be able to secure such loans. So without wasting much of our time, I want to start by defining what mortgage is all about. The term mortgage loan simply means any kind of loan that is a long-term loan that is secured to buy or improve any form of real estate. This may include houses, land, office buildings, shopping malls, hotels, etc. And such loans are being guaranteed by the properties that are being financed by such mortgage loans. So in a situation whereby the borrower is unable to repay back such loan as at when due, the mortgage, commercial or federal government mortgages will now come over after the person to seize the property that is used as collateral. So when you are securing a mortgage loan, most times the collateral securities are normally the properties that such mortgages are acquired or secured to acquire. So having understood what mortgage is all about, we are now going to understand the different types of mortgages that we have here in Nigeria. We have basically two types of mortgages here in Nigeria. We have the federal mortgage scheme, which is popularly known as the Federal National Housing Fund. This National Housing Fund, also known as NHF, is managed by Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. So this is the federal mortgage scheme that is designed to enable low-income earners and employees of both government and also low-income earners within the SME sector, private sector, to acquire housing loans in order for them to be able to easily secure their own personal houses or properties, as the case may be. Then, apart from the National Housing Fund, we also have commercial mortgages. And examples of primary mortgage banks that issue commercial mortgages in Nigeria are the likes of ASO Savings and Loans. We have Nigerian Police Mortgage Bank. We also have FHA Homes and Homes Limited, as well as Lagos Building and Investment Company. In fact, there are about 30 different commercial mortgage banks that are registered by the Central Bank of Nigeria, which are in charge of granting mortgages to enable teeming Nigerian population to secure loans for the purpose of owning their own property in Nigeria. So, you, our dear listeners and their viewers, you may now like to understand what the requirements are in order for one to be able to get qualified or secure a mortgage loan here in Nigeria. This National Housing Fund scheme is managed by Federal Mortgage Bank. So most times it is the duty of the employer of every employee of labor, every employer of labor, to now arrange the schedule of the staff that they want to enroll under such scheme. Then the employer will now register the employees under the National Housing Fund scheme, getting the details such as valid passport, valid ID card of the individual employee, and they will now register them with Federal Mortgage Bank under the National Housing Fund scheme. And when such registrations are done, then on a monthly basis, 2.5% of the basic income of the employee is being deducted from their payroll and remitted to National Housing Fund scheme. And a passbook booklet is issued to each employee to track the monthly contribution of each employee. And it is after a period of 6 months that an employee can now get qualified or approach the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria to now request for whether they are now qualified to now register or apply for federal mortgage loan. So the number one criteria or requirement is that each employee or the SME or the entrepreneur who wants to, or individual who want to secure federal mortgage loan should first and foremost register under the National Housing Fund scheme and be making a monthly contribution of 2.5% of their basic income to the National Housing Fund scheme. So when you are contributing like that for at least a period of 6 months, minimum of 6 month period, you can now get qualified to start the process of applying for federal mortgage that can enable you to own your own property within Nigeria. Also, other requirements that are needed are the complete application form. Once you approach the scheme and they certify you that you are now qualified to apply for the loan, you will now get an application form from Federal Mortgage Bank. Then, after getting the application form, you will now get the photocopy of the title documents of the property that you want to secure mortgages on. Apart from that too, you are also expected to get a valuation report of the proposed property that you want to buy with the mortgage loan. Also, there is a minimum equity contribution that the borrower is expected to contribute apart from the restriction with the National Housing Scheme. This equity contribution is the minimum amount that a borrower of this mortgage loan is expected to contribute before the Federal Mortgage Bank cannot augment it and for the purpose of acquiring the particular property that you want to acquire. Also, another requirement is that the person applying for federal mortgage loan must have at least 3 years tax clearance certificate. Yes, that is the evidence that the individual has been paying tax for the previous 3 years. So it's one of the requirements too for you to be able to access the mortgage. Also, the person should also provide a valid means of identification. It could be a national ID card, it could be voter's card. This is for documentation purpose. So these are the processes that are needed to be followed when an individual wants to secure a federal mortgage loan under the National Housing Fund. Having understood the procedure that are supposed to be followed by prospective borrowers, let us now look at the commercial mortgage bank. Yes, from the beginning, I said earlier that there are basically 2 mortgages platforms that offer mortgages in Nigeria. That is the Federal Mortgage Scheme, which is known as which is known as National Housing Fund, being managed by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. We also have commercial mortgages that are also issued by commercial banks. Yes, we have some mortgage banks that are designated to issue commercial mortgages to also borrowers who want to secure properties here in Nigeria. And I made mention of some of them like ASO Savings and Loan, FBN Mortgage Bank, and so many other ones that are also available. And the requirement for the commercial mortgage is that the person should have a credit report. Yes, there should be a credit report about you that you are not indebted or you are not owing any bank loan with any other commercial bank, or you are not owing any existing mortgage loan. And even if you owe, that you are not defaulting. And also, another requirement is that you are expected to have a duly completed application form as well. So when you get those application forms, you should also submit your proof of income over a period of 1 or 2 years. Yes, they want to assess the level of your credit worthiness before they can be able to grant you the loan. Also, the documents of the properties that you are trying to secure mortgage loan for, you must have a valuation report and also the title documents of the property in order for such a documentation to be properly captured. Also, you are expected to have also a contribution, an equity contribution. For commercial banks in Nigeria, the equity contribution is between 20 to 30%, and the interest rate ranges from 15% and above per annum. While the interest loan on federal mortgage is maximum of 6% and is normally between 0 to 30 years repayment plan as for federal mortgage. Then, having understood the different types of mortgages available in Nigeria and also the documents that are required for you to be able to get qualified to secure mortgage loans in Nigeria, we are also going to let you know that owning your own property in Nigeria with mortgages is the easiest and the best scheme or best way that you can easily secure a real estate property in Nigeria, because real estate is not unlike any other thing, any other asset. It's not it's a capital intensive as product. What do I mean by being capital intensive? The money involved in acquiring lands or properties are high. So because of that, individuals who are worrying as to how they will be able to easily secure or own their own personal property, they should no longer worry. Because with this mortgage scheme, you are now going to spread the repayment plan over a period of 6 to 30 years, depending on whether it is a commercial mortgage or a federal mortgage loan. Yes, under federal mortgage loan, you pay between 6 years to 30 years period, while commercial mortgages ranging between 3 to 6 years period. And the interest rate on the commercial mortgages are 15% and above per annum, while that of federal government mortgage is just 6% per annum. So, what are the benefits of going into mortgages in Nigeria? Yes, when you secure mortgage loans, you are not repaying back the money in full. And the money you acquire through these mortgages will now enable you to acquire properties of your own, either for residential or for commercial purposes. And for those of you who would like to secure such loan for commercial purposes, you will come to realize that you will not be the one to repay back such loans with your own personal income. Rather, the returns from such commercial properties that you have acquired, that in the form of rental income, will now enable you to repay back. Let's take, for instance, now, you secure a loan of about 30 to 40 million naira to get an apartment, maybe in somewhere like Guarempa or maybe Gaki area or in Kuba Aziz. You can go into sublet with such properties. You buy such properties, you put them for sublet on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or in an interval. You are gaining returns from sublet that you have done. So the returns or the income that you are gaining, by the time the repayment for your mortgage will be due, you have gotten something in your bank account that you can use in repaying back. And you will use such method to repay back such loan, and after you are able to clear up the loan, the property remains your own property forever. And one thing that you can do, which you can never regret, is that when you own property, unlike all other assets, it never depreciates. The property that you own today, your great-grandchildren will live to inherit them. But let's talk about other assets like cars. When you secure loan to buy cars, within 2 to 3 years, you will start repairing those cars as depreciation will start settling in. But when you have landed properties, either for land banking purposes, or you have a complete building that you are earning rental income from inside, you are gaining value from there. And apart from gaining value, anytime you wish to sell off those properties, you will sell it at a markup price. What do I mean by markup price? You will sell it at a price far above what you acquire such properties. So real estate is the only asset that never depreciates but keeps appreciating. So there are so many benefits that you can derive when you when you key into mortgages in Nigeria. So when you use mortgages to secure your properties, you are not, the burden of repayment is not going to be on you. Rather, the burden is going to be, or the repayment is going to come from the income, the returns that the property that you have bought with such mortgages is going to bring to your pocket. So can you see how easy it is for you to be able to secure your own property using mortgages in Nigeria? Yes, many people are ignorant of this scheme, or some who are aware of it, they do not know much about how to go about it. And that is why you need consultants like myself and Mr. Chima, who will now guide you step by step on how you can get qualified to secure mortgages in Nigeria. So why not reach out to us?
Someone, can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You've just done justice to this. Like you said, that this cannot be explained even if we spend 2 hours, 3 hours on this call. You just done a great job here. And to our esteemed viewers, thank you all for being around. And I know that you all learned something. Yes. He said most of us are ignorant of this. So many people don't know about this, And as such, some that knows about it don't know much. You understand? So it is very important to reach out to the people, the pros in the business, which we are here to guide you. Just this is a very easy way to secure a property, because the rental income coming in is paying the debts for you. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to fear about. Just that most times, if you don't go through the pros, if you don't go through the people that knows what's up, you keep on making some mistakes that at the end of the day you regret. Okay, so for you to get more details, you should just reach out to us so that we can guide you, and you start off this immediately. Thank you. I don't know if you have any other thing to say, Mr. Monday.
No, thank you. It's a great privilege having me in your live section today, and I look forward to a subsequent opportunities so that we can enlighten and educate our esteemed clients and audience about more informations about how they can easily secure their own property here in Nigeria. So thank you so much, Mr. Chima. It's my pleasure.
Okay. Follow me, Chima Esquim. While you follow him, Calibest Reosis. Just follow up so that you'll be getting our update, our information, or any educative video that we'll have. Thank you, and God bless you, and happy independence to you all.